Okay. My God, dude. All right. Hey, shalom, Yashrala. Shalom. Peace, Israel. Before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all the praises, all the honor, and all the glory to our Heavenly Father and His only beloved Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, and, the water, once again, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, for another beautiful day, another blessed day here on this planet Idan and the water. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai for waking us up this morning into His Yapa'ah, beautiful royal family, and the water, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, for His everlasting grace and mercy and favor that He have shown and bestowed upon us here in these last days, and the water, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, for the spirit of life, the breath of life, the Rakakodash Holy Spirit that He have breathed into our nostrils once more, causing us to remember ourselves again here in these last days, and the water, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, for my Sifus, that apostles and elders of GMS rule well, and they teach well, and the branches that teach just like them. Peace and blessings to the Bayav Dawadada Sid David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, man. Shalom. It's yours truly back with another quick lesson, not too long, straight to the point. I was at the gas station. I just stopped at the gas station to get something to drink real quick, right? I got a little testimony to tell y'all, because the Spirit mightily hopped upon me to do this quick lesson real quick, because it just kind of vexed me, just a little bit, but I'll be okay. It's just irritating at this point. But let me tell y'all something, man, what just happened probably 30 minutes ago. So I was cleaning out my car, you know what I'm saying? Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second real quick. Hold on 1 second. Check it real quick. 1 second. Yeah, man, I was cleaning up my car, right? And this elder, I wouldn't say he an elder, but he older. He probably was in his, late 50s, pushing his early 60s or something like that, right? This man was passing out these paper stuff, this paper thing right here. Man that be passing out papers and stuff like that. Jake, he had a gray beard. It wasn't big, but he had, his face was covered with a beard. It was gray, right? He was passing, and I'm gonna show y'all this. He was passing this out. I was cleaning out my car before he busts off. He had passed me this, right? And I was just observing it, right, reading it. I already knew what it was. You check just by look, about a, what I'm saying, spaceship. You check, you know what I'm saying, right? I already know what it was, right? So, I'm just using wisdom. You check wisdom. I felt the Spirit, hopped on me, right? So, boom. I looked at it, waited a good 30 seconds, came back to and asked him. I was like, what is this? You check, because you know how Jake is. I'm a young man. He an older guy. He handed me this. So I'm moving I don't know what's going on. I move I don't know what's going on. What is this, right? So the Jake roll, he window down and saying, well, I can feel it. It's, oh yeah, let me go ahead and put this young brother on. Let me go ahead and drop him with some knowledge. That's actually what he said too. He was like, oh yeah, let me drop you some knowledge. Let me hand you, let me drop. When he handed this to me, he was like, let me drop some knowledge, to you, brother. You know what I'm saying, right? He handed me this. Right. Then I came back to him. I was like, what is this? Right. And then he explained, he said, there's a website. I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you what it says. He says it's a website on it. You can look it up. It tells us about who we are as a people, such and such and such. Right. Right. And then, he also was like, it tells you about the name of the creator, right? You could just look it up and you could learn a lot, bro. Get you know what I'm saying? I just dropped a a knowledge bomb on you, something like that, right? So I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, the name of the creator. I was like, what's his name? You know, and then he pointed. He said, it says it right there, Yahweh. I was like, Yahweh's his name, right? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay. So so I asked him. I was like, okay. So what was the creator's nationality? You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay. So I asked him, what was the creator's nationality? Right? He said Hebrew. I was like, Hebrew? He was like, yeah. I was like, so Yahweh is Yahweh, so Yahweh's a Hebrew name, right? You wanna know what the man told me? The man ain't really answer me, you know. He just showed me. He said Yahweh is his name in English. That's what he told me. He said Yahweh is his name in English. I was like, Yahweh is his name in English. He was like, but the Hebrew name is up here, right? Look, he was like, but the Hebrew name is up there, right? Like that's what he pointed at, right? But in English, that's his name, Yahweh, right? Yeah, I'm pointing at it. In English, that's his name, Yahweh. I was like, Yahweh. I was like, so Yahweh is a Hebrew name. And what else did I ask the man? I asked him, I was like, do you know the Hebrew alphabet? That's what I asked him. Do you know the Hebrew alphabet? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay, tell me the Hebrew alphabet then. The man was saying all kind of bugged out stuff, you know. I mean, I'm telling you, the man, look, it was funny as shit. Like, I was laughing inwardly because this man was saying all kind of, he was like, bro, he was just blabbering, bro. I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, bro, what are you saying? He talking about something, that's Hebrew. I'm like, bro, man, what are you talking right? And then I was like, so what you just told me is Hebrew? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay. So I was like, okay, so are they E's in Hebrew? I was like, are they E's in Hebrew? Right? What the man say? The man ain't really answering me, you know. The man was just telling me, brother, I don't got time to go back. Like, you know what I'm saying? He started to because at first he was excited to, like, you know what I'm saying? And then when I was asking him questions, when I started to examine him and question him, and, you know, what he's giving me, you know, talking about something, he gonna drop knowledge on me, right? So I asked him, I said, are there E's in Hebrew? Right? And what did he say? He pretty much was dodging my questions. Like, he didn't give me a direct answer like a man. He was trying to get around it, trying to dodge it. Why? Because he didn't know, right? And I knew he didn't know. He knew that I knew something once I started to ask questions, right? I asked him about the Hebrew alphabet. I told him to tell me the Hebrew alphabet. And then I was telling him, I was like, bro, if you're going to give me something, right? You say he's going to give me knowledge, right? If you're going to give me knowledge, then tell me. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, cause I was like, bro, you know what I'm saying? If you want me to learn something, well tell me now. Tell me. You know what I'm saying? But the man couldn't tell me, right? Because I was asking him questions. The man really couldn't tell me. I'm like, bro. Anyway. But, yeah, I asked him, are there any E's in Hebrew? He couldn't really answer me. And then he didn't tell me the Hebrew alphabet. The man was just saying shit. He was just talking like, you know, like, bro, it was so bugged out. It was hilarious, but boom. And then I was like, big man, there ain't no E's in Hebrew, you know. Right? I was like, big man, there ain't no E's in Hebrew, bro. So how could the creator name be Yahweh if I asked him, I was like, the creator was a Hebrew, right? He said, yeah. I said, okay, so how could the creator name be Yahweh, right, if there are no E's in Hebrew? I asked him that. How could the creator name? He said, no, Yahweh's his name in English. Yahweh's his name in English. Dude, you just told me the creator is a Hebrew. But you're telling me, oh, his name is in English? No, the hell it's not, my man. That's what I was telling him, you know. I didn't tell him, I'm like, dude, do you hear yourself? Right? Are you hearing yourself? You just told me the creator is Hebrew. So his name would be Hebrew, right? So that means it's not Yahweh. Because there are no E's in Hebrew. And you couldn't tell me the Hebrew alphabet. Because it's 22, my man. I didn't tell him because the spirit was telling me, nah, bro, this dude, he getting all proud. You know what I'm saying? He didn't expect a young man to question him, right? And the question, what the hell he gave me. Because then he told me, he was like, brother, I'm not going to argue with you and nothing like that, go back and forth with you. I'm just handing out these flyers. I've been handing them out to all these brothers all around you, and they just took it and said, thank you, brother, and left. Well, I'm glad you told me that, because I'm not like them man, you know. Them man lost in darkness, you know. They don't know what the hell is going on. Their bones are dry as fuck, and I know that. Salaki, Lord, for my language. Their bones is dry as hell, just like yours, my man. You lost too. You in darkness, gross darkness at that, right? And then, man, Kyle was getting upset. Because now the man was trying to get smart. He's like, do you have internet, bro? Do you have internet? Just go on the website. Oh, now you're getting smart, man. Well, guess what? The creator name is not Yahweh. How about that? You sitting up here passing out these flyers. You sitting up here, you know, passing false knowledge to these brothers. That's what you're doing. And guess what? You see this? The Wadi Abba Shemel Shah, I'm going to do a video on this. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, bro, so, you know, I was reading it, you know, and you see the website, bro. You can see the website. You see what it say. Say Yahweh, bro. Right? And then I told him, I was like, brother, all right, you have a good day, but guess what? His name is not Yahweh. And I started laughing at him, you know. I started laughing at him in his face. I'm like, dude, his name is not Yahweh, bro. And he was like, damn, you laughing at me? Yes, I'm laughing at you, bro. You can go. Have a good day. And I kept cleaning out my car, you know. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do a lesson on this. And I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, show the good people out there, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Because guess what? My man, you are the lost sheep. You're the lost sheep. And if I'm not mistaken, you got it. You got it on your little flyer, right? It says, oh, and then he, you know what I'm saying, he was showing me, you know, the creator name in Hebrew, right? And I was like, okay, that looks like it. I was like, do you know that you read Hebrew from right to left, not left to right? Do you know that? I bet you didn't know that. I know you didn't know that, right? I was like, dude, you read Hebrew from right to left, right? Boom. And then, yeah, so on here, it says he is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He is the son of, you know, Yahweh, right? His mission is to gather first the lost sheep of the house of Israel, that's right, and then the moral people of the earth. Now that is questionable. I don't know what his website mean by that. But look, it says it right there, the lost sheep. My man, you lost. You're the lost sheep. Them man that you hand the flyers to that didn't question what the fuck you was handing them, they're lost too. They're the lost sheep too. You check? And just like you. But you have a good day. You see, the Wadi Habash Masha, I was lost. I was lost, but my father found me. You check? He found me. You check? And I found him, man. And call halal Yahweh Masha is beautiful. And that was spiritual. And that actually boosted my faith. That's crazy. It actually boosted my faith. You know? And I was like, wow. I was like, dang, Lord, like, you know, I'm really standing, you know, on your true name. And I didn't tell him, Lord, all I told him was his name is in Hebrew. Yahweh's not Hebrew. So your whole website is garbage. You check? I'm just saying, your website is garbage. Because look, this is whack, man. All right? Ain't no E's. I told him ain't no E's and U's in Hebrew, bro. You check? So yeah, bro. So that's about it, man. It was funny. You check? And I couldn't wait to do a lesson on it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Proverbs 4:7. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just bring out the precepts that's on it. You know, yeah, get understanding. You check? That dude had no understanding. The spirit of understanding was not dealing with that man at all. No breath in he, you know. This proves it. I wouldn't lie. So call halal Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. Barak Yahweh. Barak Yahweh Shai. Now I'm saying that shalom to the elect. Oh, one more precept, Isaiah 11:7. One precept, let's see how much of the earth is going to know me. Oh, and clearly, Isaiah 11:9. Let's see how much of the earth is going to know me. That man don't know my Father. Shalom to your elect. Shalom.